Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another wonderful episode of the Friends Forever podcast. I am Kenneth Ryan.
I'm Linz.
I'm Abbey.
And I'm Bethany.
And we are not all in the same room, and it's doing the speaker thing again. So, yeah, good times are in store in terms of audio quality. Also, I know this is a podcast, and this visual humor makes no one's gonna get it, but I just watched Bethany throw away a Lunchable, and it was funny, because she's 21 years old.
Funny?
I'm just like, you're an old gal, and you're eating Lunchables.
And now I'm about to eat my ramen.
Yeah, that's fair. Anywho, we're back, and it's April. I believe this is going up April 11th. Woohoo! And April is, for those who are unaware, Sexual Assault Awareness Month.
We're talking about this? Okay.
I mean, I'm just bringing it up. We don't have to talk about it, but I feel like it's something that we can be like, yeah, like this is what it is. Also, it's Sexual Assault Awareness Month. It's also the month in which Earth Day falls. Yes.
Yes. April 22nd.
Woo! Earth Day. And we have a resident Earth Science major, so you can tell us Earth things.
Oh god. We could do an Earth Day early. Yeah, like an Earth podcast would be so fun.
It would be mostly me listening to you, though, because I don't know a whole lot about Earth.
Yeah.
I live here. I just live here. Also, do you guys want to know how sad of a human being I am?
How sad?
I'm brushing off Pop-Tart crumbs from my bed.
I love it.
I just, saw them, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I eat Pop-Tarts in bed because I don't want to leave when I eat breakfast.
Same.
Who eats breakfast?
I try to. I also try to take a morning vitamin because I want to be a healthy boy, but, frequently does not.
Flintstones.
My chalk Flintstones. I love them.
Ew.
Whatever. So, chalk is an element, and elements are part of Earth, and Earth Day falls in this month, and something that is happening on Earth Day is the March for Science, which has been planned, by the way. I saw a planning for it way back when the Women's March on Washington happened. So this has been something that's been in the works. Yeah, and I'm a little disappointed because I don't think I'm going to be able to actively participate in the March for Science, but I'll be with everyone who goes in spirit. What are you doing, Beth?
Getting an ice cube because my ramen's too hot.
I just hear a ton of obnoxious noises.
Yeah, it was really. So sorry. It's really hot. Where's my mouth on my ramen? So wait.
We are fucking professionals. I just want to point out we are the best at doing this, and I love all of us.
Yes.
But yeah, the March for Science is happening in most major cities across the U.S. and probably in other places around the world too. What even is what?
That.
The March for Science?
Yeah, sounds like.
Okay.
I didn't thought.
Bethany, I know you kind of know about it.
I was interested in doing it. I know about the Chicago one, because that's the one that I will potentially be going to. It's basically I don't know, like any other march, it's in advocacy for science and scientific research, and also with Earth Day, specifically climate research. I guess I could say that there's probably a bit of an emphasis on that, even though officially it's the Chicago one is a bipartisan event. They're nonpartisan. It's not. It doesn't have official climate and political connotations, but basically it is. And they have a rally at 10 a.m. with speakers, and then there's the actual march, and then they have the Chicago one is having a science expo outside the Field Museum. So,
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it sounds pretty neat. I don't know if I'm gonna be there for all of that, because there's also some stuff on campus that they're doing for Earth Day that I'm kind of interested in. So
that's fair. That's very fair. I wanted to be able to march for science because I'm a firm believer in scientific fact, and then I realized I have a conflict, so that sucks. But like I said, I'll be there in spirit. And another march that I'm sad I didn't get a chance to participate in is the Women's March on Washington. That was a time. I actually got a handout. I don't know if I've given it to you to read, Bethany, because I know you would appreciate it.
You did not.
Oh, it's the official handout of like what the march was about.
Yeah.
And I got that because I'm in a women's and gender studies class, and it's very interesting. The position that they took is very. It's one that I'm very surprised that like people don't get behind, but maybe that's just like. I don't know. Maybe that's just like how I think, and I'm like, this makes sense. But I guess to other people it maybe doesn't. I'll let you read it sometime. It's a good time.
Or people like don't even take the time to find out what the march is actually about. They're just like, oh, they're being disruptive and causing problems, and women don't have it that bad, and like don't actually like give a crap enough to like look and see what they're talking about.
That's fair. I feel like that happens with like a lot of marches though, where people are just kind of like, they're creating problems. What a ruckus. And it's like, but like there's a reason they're creating a ruckus. It's so that people notice that there's like things that are not okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. You don't really get national attention
without causing a disturbance.
Exactly, yeah.
And I think my favorite thing is like people like to forget that like one of the amendments is the right to peaceful protest. And majoritively protests are peaceful. Obviously they're always going to shed a light on it that's like, look at what the bad people did, because there's always dumb people who break things and whatever. Like that's just kind of like a part of the thing. Is like, this idiot did this, but they don't reflect everything. But that's always what gets the attention. So anytime there's a protest, they're like, they're horrible people. But it's like, no. Like, these 5 people are horrible, but everyone else is fine. It's very interesting.
This is, like, tangentially related to that, and, like, kind of going off topic, but we can really come back. Like, I don't know, that kind of reminds me of, well, just, like, this whole situation that they're currently, like, the Chicago, the war zone, Chicago's worse than Afghanistan, all this stuff. Like,
do you want to elaborate? Because I've never heard that before.
What?
Does it have to do with? Does it have to do with the? No. Listen.
Never heard that.
Well, I for one limit my listening to his ramblings to 0 times a day, because my brain can't fathom what he's saying is like anything worth listening to, which is maybe just a me thing. But no, I've never heard him or anyone say that Chicago's like a war zone. I do know Chicago has like one of the highest murder rates in the country, as does Philadelphia. But like
murder rate like per like raw a number of people killed. It's all, I literally can't hear what you're saying, Lindsay.
Per capita.
No, not per capita. Just raw, like, number of people killed. It's one of the highest. However, Chicago's gigantic. So, like, when you actually look at, like, per capita.
Okay.
I should probably, like, look it up, but I feel like Milwaukee might be worse.
Milwaukee was recently discovered to be the most segregated city in the entire United States.
Yeah, it's like the worst place to be a young black person, I think.
Milwaukee was also, I read a list of cities that were like, so Flint's in this really bad situation water crisis wise. Here's a list of other cities that like have not safe amounts of lead in their water, and Milwaukee was on that list.
I'm like seeing all these articles. Chicago isn't even close to being the gun violence capital. Like this, I can't believe that. Never heard of it. He talks about it all the time. He's just like, Chicago is terrible, Chicago.
Who actually watches what he's talking about at all?
Politically
Well, I mean,
aware people, I guess.
yeah, I mean, people who act like, you know, care a bit.
I mean, I care. I care a lot, but at the same time, it's like I can't. I feel like you need to limit how much of like that you intake in every single day because it's going to wear you down so fast. If that makes
Yeah.
sense.
I guess that makes sense, yeah. Okay, yeah, look at, I got a list
A list of what?
on it. I'm just like trying to look it up really fast. Maybe this isn't the best use of my time. But
I mean, it's fine.
basically, just like looking up, he like talks about how horrible Chicago is. He's literally said that it's a war zone. He said that it's worse than Afghanistan. He said like all these things about how horrible Chicago is. Oh, he said he's gonna send the National Guard in here. Like he's doing all this dumb stuff.
My
Oh.
statement on that is why? Like, every time I've been in the city of Chicago, I have felt relatively safe. Like, I've never been, like, actively worried about my well-being. I've also never been there alone, which might have something to do with it.
I've never been south of downtown either. Like everything's different on the south side.
Well, yeah, you stay in the nice touristy areas, and,
Yeah.
like, that's my experience. So maybe the non-touristy areas are rough, which, you know, it applies to every city ever.
Yeah, has bad areas and stuff. It's just like, yeah, and like, yeah, the violence is very bad, definitely, but it's just like, yeah, he's pulling these numbers that like aren't super like, yeah, great and stuff, and not taking into account that it's just like a big city, so there are going to be like more murders, like as sad as that is. It's just like you just have more people, kind of thing. And it's like, okay, yeah, Chicago definitely has like economic and racial segregation and like violence, and yeah, there's like just all this stuff, but it's just super frustrating because all he does is like put it up, lift it up as an example, and be like, it's horrible, and he just like berates the city, but doesn't actually do anything to help the city. He's just like, I'm gonna send in the National Guard, and it's like, okay, yeah, that doesn't solve everything. Like you can't do it.
That wouldn't change much of anything either. It'd just be like a, you know, like, now the National Guard's here, which does what exactly in terms of helping the situation? If anything, I feel like it would raise tensions because now all of a sudden the National Guard is here.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so yeah, that was my. I assumed you guys like that. It's like it's super annoying, but the related to that when you're talking about people are always gonna like find something to be like, oh well, this was a bad person or this one bad thing. When the Cubs were in the World Series and then like won the World Series, I was like talking to one of my relatives and they're like, oh, well, what do you think will happen if they win? Like, do you think there's going to be lots of violence and they're going to destroy and smash things? And I don't know if this is like after one of the protests where like things did get looted or whatever. Not in Chicago, in like some other city.
Right.
And I don't even remember if this was shortly after that happened, but they were just like, oh, like, yeah, do you think it's not going to be safe? Basically thinking like if the Cubs won, that they were going to destroy the city. And I was like, why is that everybody's like initial like thing that they're like, oh, clearly if this happens, people are just gonna go nuts and like destroy stuff. I was like, maybe if they had lost, people would have gotten really pissed. But like if they won, I don't know.
Yeah, the losing sports riots are absolutely wild, and I can't believe that they don't get the negativity that they deserve in media coverage. It's been a long time since I've seen negative coverage of a sports riot. But literally, they're wild. When that one guy,
People literally get trampled to death or die. I'm like, that's insane. Yeah.
do you remember the Penn State riots when Joe Pateshi, I can't remember his last name, I think it starts with a P, was fired as head coach of the football team because he was like he either like had sexually assaulted someone or like he like was covering up a student's sexual assault or something. Like Joe Paterno, maybe.
It was like a locker room. It was like, or maybe not little boys, but it was like maybe not minors, but like people way younger than him.
Right. It wasn't like he was doing shitty things and rightfully got fired from his job. And people literally like destroyed cars and like lit fires in protest of him losing his job. And
he knew, he didn't actually. He wasn't the one who actually abused the person.
right, but he didn't do anything to stop it. I don't know. I just remember.
I don't know. Did he?
I just remember that was a literal riot, and like things were actually burned, and I'm pretty sure people were actually hurt, and like that got way less negative media attention than say the situation 3 years ago in Ferguson.
Oh.
Which, by the way, that was 3 years ago, I think, or coming up on 3 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, even this morning there was bombings happening in Egypt in 2 different Christian churches because it's Palm Sunday. They figured there'd be a lot more people in church. So one, they had bombed like the inside of an Egyptian church, and then the other one was in Alexandria, which is like the second biggest city in Egypt. And it was a suicide bomber who exploded outside of the gates of a, like, cathedral type thing. So, like... What?
Talked about, like, in church, when we were, like, doing the prayers and stuff.
Yeah.
Because ISIS claimed it, didn't they?
I don't know, but it was
ISIS claims everything.
disheartening.
Right, but I think that one too.
Like, if there's one thing I've learned is anytime anything like that happens, ISIS is gonna put their stamp on it whether or not they were actually involved.
Yeah, no, definitely.
So, like, there's a part of me that's like, were you actually, or are you just like, oh, like, we can make this about us?
Yeah. Definitely.
So I'm just a skeptic when it comes to them claiming anything like that. And, like, maybe they did do it, like, who knows, but, like, also, they could also just be like, it was an attack on a religion that we have been very openly against, so let's put our stamp on it.
Yeah, no. I don't deny that could very well be the case.
But, man, shit's wild.
Yeah, the world sucks.
Armageddon.
I mean, maybe not that far. I like to be slightly positive. There's good things in the world. It's not Armageddon yet.
No. The only savior is BTS.
That's listen, yes
There's
and
your
no.
segue.
What was I thinking of before you mentioned BTS and shifted my entire train of thought?
You mentioned BTS. I wasn't paying attention.
Abbey was trying to segue. She's like, the only savior is BTS, and so my entire train of thought shifted to them, but I had a point.
Oh, okay.
We're talking
BTS.
about ISIS.
It's an acronym, just the way it works.
Is gonna become was.
Oh, that's such a good meme. I also love that it's a Facebook post by someone named Linda.
It's pretty good.
I'm assuming everyone's seen it. That like when
No,
I'm
I
done
have
with
internet like you guys do.
when I'm done with ISIS, they're gonna be was. And like the name of the person is like Linda, and I'm like, and like someone commented on it, they're like, oh, go off, Linda.
Oh my god. Linda's such a middle-aged white mom name.
That's why I wish I was a Linda. I actually work for a Linda. So
Middle-aged white
I
mom.
have an Aunt Linda.
What?
she has an Aunt Linda.
Oh.
She's a little frozen.
Who, me?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
froze for a hot sec.
Oh.
Technical
Yeah, my aunt's
difficulties are
Linda,
great.
married to my Uncle Steve.
Wild. But that's such a basic family name.
Linda.
Yeah.
Linda and Steve, that's so basic.
Really is.
Anywho, yeah, no, like... Oh, my point was the coverage of protests. We're jumping back to that. Sorry, I remember now. because I brought up the Ferguson situation, which was 3 years ago, and like how that got so much attention, albeit negative or positive. It kind of depends on like where you're looking. But like I feel like the Penn State situation also got negative and positive, but I feel like there's a lot less negative attention drawn towards that as opposed to the Ferguson situation. I was also older for the Ferguson situation, so maybe I was just taking in more about it, but still.
Or on Tumblr during it.
Well, that, and I did read articles and like I watched clips, like I was genuinely like interested in like what was going on and being like, wow, this is freaking wild. Like what? But yeah, my point is that sports riots they don't tend to get the negative attention that I feel like they deserve, because if there's one thing that I feel like you shouldn't riot over, it's fucking sports. Like police brutality and like inequality, I get that. I get like making a stand and statement about it, but sports are a game. They're leisure time. It doesn't actually matter who wins or who loses. It doesn't determine anything.
Unless you bet on it.
Well, that's gambling, which is technically illegal, question mark?
No.
It's against the Bible.
Depends on what, I guess.
Why?
Okay, yeah. This made me think of that when you're talking about like sports riots, Kenny. I read this thing one time, because one of my friends who like lives in London, posted it, and it was an article about this thing that mentioned like this massacre or something, or this disaster. I was like, what's that? And I googled it. The craziest thing I've ever heard. I thought this soccer, I just Wikipedia'd it. It's called the Hillsborough disaster. It was a human crush. So basically, it was like at this soccer place, and they like didn't open up the right gates or something, and basically like they just had more and more like it looked like how this actually happened. So somehow they just kept letting people in these like gates, and it was something like, oh, they were like trying to get to their seats or whatever before the game started. The game was about to start, something like that. And literally these people just kept coming in, and like people were getting crushed against these gates that like literally crushed to death. 96 people died just from being crushed. It was literally what it's called. It was a human crush at Hillsborough Football Stadium in Sheffield, England.
It's terrible.
That's like the Black Friday employees who like open.
And 766 injured is the worst disaster in British sporting history.
Oh my god.
Standing only Central Pens. Yeah.
Oh
so
my god.
In an attempt to ease overcrowding outside the entrance turnstiles, he ordered this one gate to be opened, and like just a ton of people came in that apparently weren't supposed to come in that fast or something. I don't know. It just like blows my mind that almost 100 people died literally just from getting what the. Oh my god.
Sports make people do wild things. Like the amount of like influence how well someone's favorite sports team does can have over their life is very, very psychologically interesting, because like it's very interesting in the sense that like it's a game. It doesn't really, in the grand scheme of anything, matter. It exists solely for leisure and entertainment, and yet there are people who stake so much on it.
Yeah.
Just like Black Friday sales, I am always appalled that people get hurt and die because of Black Friday sales.
Yeah, that's stupid to me.
Like, if I worked at a retail store and had to unlock the door, I'd be terrified, because people have legitimately been crushed after they unlock the doors. Like, the employees have been killed. And, like,
Yeah.
like, when you really think about it, that's horrible.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
I don't know. I feel like if you pulled the right statistics, you could argue retail is one of the most dangerous jobs in this country.
Probably, yeah.
Just like per capita, well, not per capita, but like if you just pulled the amount of people who die doing retail work a year, I'm sure it's bigger than any of us think it is. Because, like, you'd think 0. I think 0 right off the top of my head, but you know that it's probably double digits, if not triple digits.
What's the question?
Like, working retail, you also, like, have the issue of, like, getting robbed and stuff.
Oh, yeah. Like, how many, like, deaths occur doing retail work? I'm just kind of curious, morbidly so, but...
Yeah.
No, I don't know. It's... God.
I think the retail thing, just, like, personally, is more dumb than the sports. I don't know.
The what? I'm sorry.
When you say, like, it's interesting, like, how much, like, a sports, like, can affect people's, like, lives or whatever. I guess, yeah, I agree that it's interesting, but also, like, being a fan of sports, I don't know, it's like, well, certain sports. Yeah. Basically one sport.
But there's been really over the top about rioting and shit.
Well, yeah, I'm not gonna riot or anything.
Well, because that's like I would consider that a normal reaction. Like, oh man, favorite sports team lost. Well, my life still goes on. But like, it's fascinating to get into the minds of the people who like do riot because their team lost. It's like, what drove you to think that was the adequate, like,
response.
Yeah, like what made you think like, oh man, the Packers lost the Super Bowl, so I'm gonna go burn Green Bay. Like, how does that help anything?
I'm gonna go help some people flip a car in the street and start it on fire and
Right?
whatever.
Like what is that accomplishing?
But I also feel like part of that is, like, the group mentality thing, too, because, you know, like, they've done, like, so many, like, experiments with, like, stuff like that, where, like, you know, individually, people, like, won't do things when they're in a group of people, which just, like, builds and builds and builds. People do, like, just insane stuff that you wouldn't think that they would, that any people would do, kind of thing. So, I don't know. It could be partially, like, yeah, people are just really into sports. I think a big part of it, too, though, is, like, really big fans building off each other and being like, wow.
That's fair.
I know, sports are emotional, too. Like, it's all kinds of stuff, like, going because you, like, you care so much about this, and then it doesn't work out the way you want. It's just, like, yeah, sad and mad and, like,
life goes on.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? I guess if we relate it to other things, I suppose I do.
Yeah, you're, like, talking about, I don't know if this is what you're gonna say, but you're like, I just don't get, like, how people get so worked up over something like that.
I cry almost nightly about BTS.
Exactly.
That's wrong.
Exactly.
It's different.
Do they directly affect your life, your well-being in any way? No, your life goes on. Quotation marks.
I'm being called out in my own podcast.
You are. I am calling you out.
Oh man. I guess you're right. If I look at it from a lens of like, if I don't look at it like I look at sports, and I just look at it in the way that I look at things I enjoy, I do get it. Okay. I'm in the wrong.
I'm crying about things that make you happy.
It's just been in my life, crying over something I enjoy has just been the response that I have. I've always been a happy crier. I've cried at plenty of happy moments. I cry at weddings. Well, Bethany, I couldn't understand a word you said. You were eating.
Okay, sorry, I'm putting these away.
You were just silent for me, so whatever.
Freezing again. I don't know. Lindsay's a hot mess right now.
Everyone's a hot mess right now. But Beth, I would like you to repeat what you said, unless you froze.
I don't think I said any. Like, I started to say something, but then talking stuff.
Not much better.
God. Lindsay. No, he's not good. What?
Bethany, all I heard was.
Okay, well, I'm not eating anything, so.
And it's probably because your microphone's fucked up.
Probably. Can you hear me fine now?
Yeah.
Oh well. That's better than not hearing me at all, I guess. Okay, what the hell? Cut all of that out, Kenny.
Oh no, I'm leaving it in.
Oh, God. Okay, what were we talking about?
How I happy cry over BTS.
Oh, like happy crying. I think happy crying is great.
Hmm.
I don't do it really ever, but I think it's great when people do.
I've just always been a very
Emotional videos and shit, but you're like, oh my god, I love BTS so much, I'm gonna go sob about it for an hour in my room while watching pictures of their face.
Never had.
the only time I've cried for an hour straight over them was when you sent the clips of their concert to me. That was an emotional night.
Oh my god.
I also know that if I saw them live, I would cry probably the entire time because I'd be so overwhelmed by how happy I am to be around them. It's very interesting how quickly they grew to be one of the most important aspects of my life, and I kind
You
of...
should tell the internet that I took videos during their concert when you're specifically told not to take videos during their concert, Kenny.
The amount of videos of their concert that are on the internet.
True. I'm not posting them anywhere or anything, because it's like,
Right.
you know.
Also, like, I could have found all the...
Why is that a thing? Like, why are they so butthurt about that?
It's probably a big hit thing. Their company that they go... who they have a contract through.
Concerts.
But honestly, everything that I saw, I could have found online easily. Like, I could have. I found, like, a couple videos online just by searching and then started crying at that point.
Oh my god.
So, really, it's fine.
I was trying to, like, keep it mostly centered on, like, the screen, but still watch them.
It's fine. It really is. I just can't believe, in terms of, like, a psychological analysis of myself, how quickly they became, like, the most important band in my life, and how quickly I, like, felt like I could relate to them. It's very interesting as to, like, why my brain latched onto them so hard.
Yeah, because it did really, really well.
February?
Yes, I discovered them Valentine's Day.
Oh my god. Your anniversary with BTS is Valentine's Day.
That, you know what? That's good enough for me. But yeah, I discovered them Valentine's Day.
Really?
I think
Was it
so.
Valentine's Day?
I believe so. It was very, very close to Valentine's Day.
It was when I was over and be like, hey, a BTS.
No.
You're like, yeah, and I'm like, I like them. Here, let's Google pictures of their faces.
Right.
You're like,
No,
oh my
that's
God, I love
different.
them.
That's different. That's different.
God.
Because I didn't actually listen to any of their music actively or, like, look them up actively until Valentine's Day. I just remembered you talked about liking them, so I was like, oh, I should look into them, because Lindsay said she liked them, and then all of a sudden it was 4 in the morning.
Nice.
And all of a sudden it's been every night every single day I consume some form of BTS media.
Oh my god.
I listen to them on Spotify every single day. They're one of the main reasons I bought Spotify Premium.
Wow.
Was so I could listen to them ad-free because I was listening to them so much.
Oh my gosh.
Now I just love Spotify Premium, so that's a free shout out to them. I adore Spotify. Anywho. Yeah, BTS is... I would love to have someone psychoanalyze why I got into them, because I'm genuinely curious as to what in my brain was like, this is your life now. The shackles are on and you are committed. But I'm not the only one, right? Like, not in terms of BTS, but like, I feel like everyone at some point in their life finds something that just means so much to them that, like, for at least a little while, you're like, this is all I want to consume.
I don't think to the level of you and BTS.
Right, but even, like, I don't know. I also suffer from, I've realized, hyperfixation. I say suffer, but it's... From, like, what I've seen about what hyperfixation is like, you just, like, get into something and then all of a sudden it's all you care about.
Yeah, that's definitely what you did with them.
Right. It's not a bad
That's kind
thing.
of memes.
That's kind of what?
Huh?
What'd you say it's kind of like?
Obsessive.
Maybe. I mean, I won't deny it. But,
Just have
like,
an obsessive personality.
that would make sense.
But I don't know if you got, like, do you get obsessed? I don't know what you would get obsessed with prior to this.
Free.
I had a big Game Grumps phase. I was very obsessed with Game Grumps for about 3 years.
Okay.
I was obsessed with Buffy.
Mm.
Yeah. I guess those are maybe like our Facebook group chat.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Now all I freaking hear about is BTS.
You're gonna join us. I'm gonna make you one of the crew.
No.
Who do we have? Who doesn't have? Like, which member don't we have someone for already?
Oh, I'm trying to think of, cause like the two of us have picked our members and Squash has picked their members.
No.
We've decided that we have a J-Hope. I think we're just missing Jimin.
Oh. Nice.
No.
Okay. Ken again.
Abby just keeps saying no, and I don't know why.
No.
Her eyes are closed and she's laying on the bed just saying no repeatedly.
Good.
Maybe I'm having a stroke. You don't know.
Maybe. I don't know.
Just see if. I
Everybody say no.
No.
What the
Trot
hell?
version.
What?
Trot version.
Oh my god. What a time.
I took Bethany that like late at night.
That video's a trip. BTS is such a meme. Maybe that's why I like them, because I've been obsessed with memes since the year of our Lord 2012.
Oh my god.
Everybody say no.
Everybody say no.
Yikes.
No one else knows what you're talking about.
I hope that the internet looks up BTS because of us. I want to be part of the reason they get discovered more. As though they're not already international superstars.
What?
So anywho,
I'm so tired.
I've reached the point where like I'm just spewing word vomit. So if no one else has anything to say, we can call it an episode.
Okay. I feel like nobody has had anything really meaningful to say.
Bethany, I need you to stop. Your microphone just makes this awful clicking noise and I can't.
Okay. Still?
So
Still? Is it doing
no,
it?
it's fine.
Okay.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Join us in the next 2 weeks for another episode of the podcast. I know this one was a train wreck, but like
They won.
Went from like politics to science to bombings
to BTS. So it's a typical episode of the podcast, really.
Yo.
We'll see you in 2 weeks with another episode. Until next time, stay awesome. Wow.
Yikes.
Bye.